On today's show, we're talking about the East-West Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl, the two college all-star games that happened just this past week. We're going to talk about guys whose stock is up, guys whose stock is down, and guys we just don't give a shit about because they ain't likely to get drafted. What do you think, Josh? Let's get into
Let's
it.
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. I'm your host for this evening, Anthony Pinzone, alongside my boy, Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, to my left. On today's show, of course, you know it already. We're talking East-West Shrine Bowl and Senior Bowl. We'll be honest, we're talking a lot more Senior Bowl than we are East-West Shrine Bowl. Listen, Josh, this is my first year watching the East-West Shrine Bowl, and I'm really unsure why I put it on our list and made you watch it as well. I apologize.
Last.
I thought it was going to be a good game. I thought it was an all-star game. I thought there'd be a lot of players there that were good. I was wrong. I am sorry.
Look, I watch them every year, right? Because I'm a draft guy. Not a draft guy. I love the draft and I love analyzing the draft. But yeah, this was a fucking snooze fest. What was it? West 21, East 17, I think was the score.
Yep, 21-17.
Yeah.
It was just so slow. It was so sloppy, and I get it. Like the Senior Bowl had a lot of sloppiness to it. We're going to talk about that, but it's not fair to say that these guys have a week to get ready,
and really it's less than that. Yeah,
they like get their coaches. They give them a playbook on Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice, and then like Thursday or Friday, it's like
rest and recover.
Let's rest and go over like implementation plan,
installs,
and then the game, right? All the while, throughout the whole process, guys are coming and going. Like, oh, I don't want to go. My agent says I shouldn't play in this anymore, or my agent wants me to play in this. Like, it's insane for both of them. So, really, shout out to anybody, and that's all we're going to do for the East-West Shrine Bowl. Just shout out guys who had a great day, because if you had a great day in that environment, you deserve a shout out, right?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. So let's start with the East-West Shrine Bowl. As you mentioned, the West 21, the East 17. There were a few standouts in this game. Most notably, I am not finding him on any draft boards anywhere. So let's preface this by saying, after watching this game, I fully believe this is a game of guys who are still trying to get drafted or not currently on a lot of draft boards.
Like top 100s, yeah.
Right. So Mason Reiger, edge rusher in Wisconsin, had himself a day. 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, 4 total pressures, and a forced fumble. That's not just all in a day's work there, Josh. That's an incredible output.
Yeah, hell of a day. Hell of a day. Consistent disruptor off the edge is all I wrote down for him. Right, because I tried to take notes as I was dozing off, like I was doing the classic like kid in high school thing where you're just like,
right. You're like, I know I need to be paying attention, but my eyes just won't let me.
But yeah, no, I think multiple impact plays on obvious passing downs, which I thought helped him, and it's really kind of exactly what scouts want to see in a player and an edge. Dominate when you're supposed to dominate on passing downs, and he did.
One quarterback I'll mention, Mark Gronowski. I thought out of Iowa, I actually did like what I saw from this young man. He did not play a lot. He went 8 for 12 passing, 102 yards and a touchdown. He had 18 rushing yards as well. Why I like what I saw is because, like I just mentioned, he's playing with guys he's never played with before. Being taught a pro scheme he's probably not familiar with. And he goes 8 for 12 passing and moved the ball down the field. He had a touchdown. And that was pretty much his day. Listen, I don't know if he'll get drafted. Maybe he's a late round project. Maybe he ends up being a coach in the NFL. I have no idea what his future holds. But given the opportunity he had in this game, he took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, what did I write down for him? I wrote down, and I'm reading it off here. Completion percentage north of 65%. Awesome. Efficiency is king. He was very efficient. and he kept drives alive. No negative plays. Like that's kind of all
Yep.
that is best case scenario, right? Because again, to your point, he has no concept of the wide receivers he's throwing to and the tight ends he's throwing to, how they run their routes, what their timings are. Like, no, he's just like, I'm going to throw it up and hope to God you catch it. Please don't drop it. And
I
he
mean,
did.
and honestly, in this environment, you're just looking for a guy who doesn't get flustered and who can just make a play.
Right.
And he did that. And
And I do think there's something to say about a player succeeding in these circumstances, right? Because
yeah,
the NFL is constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly challenging you. And in this case, I thought the players that we are going to mention, Mark Gronowski, and
Gronowski. Yeah.
should tell you how much I think he's going to succeed. Included, I think this bodes well for them.
Yeah, two running backs stood out. Dom Richardson out of Tulsa and Dean Connors out of Houston both did very well with their opportunities. Defensive lineman Wesley Williams out of Duke, of all places. He had 4 tackles, 2 pressures, and a tackle for loss. Is an interior defensive lineman. That's a good day for an interior defensive lineman. Last but certainly not least, we're talking about a punter.
Our new punter, our future punter.
Potentially our new punter. I have no idea what his relationship is to the Stonehouse of the NFL, but Jack Stonehouse, the punter out of Syracuse, 4 punts, 54 average, a long of 61, and 1 punt downed inside the 5. Now that is a good day's work.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much of that. It's a punter. Go team.
All right, that'll do it for the East-West Shrine Bowl. Let's be honest, it wasn't that exciting.
God. Yeah, sorry, guys.
It wasn't
all right,
that
everyone
exciting.
Else. Hold on.
Lots of guys who probably won't get drafted. But kudos to those guys. You had a good day. You did everything you could to help yourself move on to the next level, and I appreciate that.
All right, now everyone, wake up. We're talking Senior Bowl. Come on, guys.
All right, let's move on to the Senior Bowl. The American team whoops up on the national team. The score was 17-9, but the score was 17-0 till like the fourth quarter. So the American team really walked away with this one on the arm of and the legs of Garrett Nussmeier, the linebacker, the quarterback out of LSU. He was obviously the MVP of this game. He was the most effective quarterback of this game, and honestly, he definitely made himself some money.
Oh, for sure. I think that he led 2 scoring drives, efficient passing, right, on the day. Again, not crazy stats. Nobody had crazy stats,
right?
But the arm talent and the pocket awareness were there. It's what we saw from Garrett 2 years ago, because last year I think was more of an anomaly than the norm with Nussmeier. If Nussmeier, when I was evaluating the 2024 draft, I had him as a first-round quarterback. He decided to go back to school last year to an LSU team that struggled mightily at various times with various things going on with injuries and coaching and players and whatnot, and the fucking transfer portal, which is going bananas right now. But he's not a scrambler, but he has wheels. He reminds me a little bit of a lesser Drake May from a scrambling standpoint, where he's not a Michael Vick type quarterback, but he can pick you up a first down if you need him to on a design bootleg or something. Size is going to be an issue. But I think before the game, most importantly, before the game, to echo your point, he was probably a late draft round, maybe 6, maybe 5 type quarterback. Yeah. He is a solid round 2, round 3, in my opinion.
I'd be shocked if the leap is that much, but I mean, let's be honest. Everybody past Fernando Mendoza is an absolute question mark as to where the heck they're going to go.
Yeah.
Would I be surprised if this moved him over Carson Beck? No. I largely am not a Beck. I'm largely not a Beck fan myself. But I think that like Beck and Nussmeier and LR and Klubnik are in this like area of the draft where we're like, where on earth are they going to go and who's going to go first?
Yeah.
So similar to last year when we had like Tyler Shuck there going, and we're like, well, he's not a first rounder, so where's he gonna go? And then like once he went, like the rest of the dominoes fell.
Yeah,
and I think I could see that there with Nussmeier as well. From the running back perspective, my friend Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas had himself a day as well. What did you see from him? I thought he was a pretty tough runner out there. I don't know.
Explosive.
6 foot, 228. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
What do you think about this kid at
Yeah, I
Arkansas?
mean, honestly, how I have him graded was a day two type range, right? Third or
Mhm.
maybe number three, number four running back taken, right? Whether that's probably looking at round three, round four, if I had to guess,
Sure.
maybe round five. But prototypical size, hell of a runner, tough, right? Multiple tackles, multiple tacklers to take him down, and he ran with with purpose, which again, running behind offensive linemen you don't know, running a scheme you don't know against players you're not too familiar with because you haven't had a chance to study the film. I thought he showed himself very well today, or not today, but in the game.
Who else do you want to talk about?
Uh, there are two that really kind of hit home for me. I'm not gonna try to pronounce this dude's last name. His first name is Max. He's an offensive tackle from Arizona State. His
I
last name
heard an
sound
anchor.
Yeah, he's an anchor, right? Um,
His last name could be.
I'm an anchor, right? It's Max. I an anchor for the offensive tackle from Arizona State. He's a massive human being, and the reason I kind of honed in on him is because the size matches what our coaching staff, I believe, is going to look at, and he was dominant. I mean, I put it in all
Mhm.
caps, dominant the
Yeah.
entire day, or at least when he was in. 6'5", 325, great hands, violent at the point of attack, which is something I love to see out of an offensive tackle, well, offensive lineman in general, but had really good drop steps, had really, really solid mechanics, especially for a player playing at Arizona State. He was going against a decent talent pool at the bowl game, and really stood out in a group that struggled. I mean, the offensive linemen struggled. I
Mhm.
think he is a lock for a first rounder. And
Really?
yeah, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I'm still working through my top 150, which we will do a whole show on and use it for other shows. Um, and the other guy, Malachi Fields, he's the hot name. He's the buzzy name wide receiver because he's like, what, he's 6'4", 218, but he runs fast and he can catch. And he's from Notre Dame and he had a good college career. And I thought he had a hell of a game. Right. I thought he was the top, in my opinion, one of the top offensive players out on the field at any given time. Um, Great blocker. There were some plays in there where he was like just manhandling people in the blocking game as a tall wide receiver, which is not something you see very often because you're going against much more smaller, much more shifty, smaller, more in some cases just simply more athletic cornerbacks and safeties.
Mm.
And he was out there and just destroying people in the blocking game, which was great. Um, I have him I have, because of this game and kind of the buzz around him, he jumped up significantly in the draft, in my opinion. He's top 45, top 50 type range, whereas before he was a later draft type player.
I mean, 6'4", 218. He looked pretty
Yeah.
good out there. He only had 2 for 20, but
Mhm.
you know, he played very fast for his
Yeah.
size.
And again, when we watch these games, for those of you that aren't aware, right? I could give two shits about stats.
Yeah.
I want to see, what are you doing when the ball's not thrown at you? How are you blocking downfield? Let's use him as an example. What kind of routes are you running? How are you cutting those routes off? Are they crisp? Are you rounding out when you're breaking out of your route? Are you rounding, or are you more of a 90-degree angle and cutting instead of rounding? Can you run a post at 6'4"? And how fast? What does the separation look like? How are you, breaking off the line of scrimmage when you're getting pressed in coverage? Like, those are the things that I'm looking at, and he did all of them, not all of them, but he did the majority of them pretty well.
I have to call out two guys, and obviously when I watch these games, I am not pretending that I am any sort of scout or anything like that. But I like to read a lot. So
Mhm.
I'll read Kuiper and I read Daniel Jeremiah, and Todd McShay, and I'm just reading everybody. What
Yeah.
is everybody saying, right? Two names that popped off the board on almost every article I read were the safety out of TCU, Bud Clark, and
Yeah.
the linebacker out of Pitt, Kyle Lewis. Like, Todd McShay even gave them a nickname, the duo of Lewis and Clark. Very original, Todd. Good
Yeah.
job. Um, it just so happens that these are two positions that we absolutely need.
Mhm.
We could use a strong tackling, ball skill, high instinct safety like a Bud Clark. He's at 6', 185. Needs to bulk up, but I think he could.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Lewis, a linebacker alongside Brooks that knows what he's doing. He's
Crazy.
5'11", but could he be our next Zach Thomas? Maybe, man. I think you see here. I see your note here that he's in the round 3 to 4 range.
Mhm.
We have 3 third-round picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he truly is a third-round value just because of his size, please, for the love of God, Sully,
Mhm.
go get this boy. No, I don't think anybody raised his stock more than Kyle Lewis in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think nailed it on both of those. Another player I'll call out for those that didn't watch the game and they're just kind of getting into the draft prospects and stuff is Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker out of Texas Tech. I think this dude is plug and play, instant starter day one when he's drafted, no matter where he's drafted to. Not super fast, right? He's not going to blow you away at the underwear Olympics, right? He's not a fast linebacker, a speed linebacker, but he can cover. But he is intelligent, great IQ, instincts. I have him round 2, round 3. So to your point, talking about Kyle Lewis, if Rodriguez happens to fall and to round 3, could you imagine getting one of these two guys? Like, fuck, please sign me up.
I honestly I wouldn't be surprised if our third round is kind of filled with guys from this game, and here's why. I truly think that first round pick is pegged for our pass rusher if one of the big guys are there still. You know, and maybe we see an offensive tackle. I'm not entirely sure about that. I defensive coach wants to put his stamp on defense. We only have one pass rusher on the team.
Mhm.
I could very well see a pass rusher there, but I think that these what many would call secondary positions, linebacker, safety, stuff like that, you want to build in the later rounds, third round, picking up guys like Rodriguez, Clark, Lewis. That's how you kind of build the core of your team. So I think that's like these Senior Bowl prospects when you're looking at them and you're trying to find out how they did in college and you're watching their combine. Keep that in mind. Like these are probably mid-round picks that build the core of the team. They're probably not going to be superstars, but they're going to be solid starters for you for a while.
Yep, agreed, 100%. And I will say for round 1, I genuinely believe against most of what I'm reading that round 1, specifically in the first year of this regime with everything, we have like 30 something players leaving, is going to just be best player available not necessarily based on need, based on who's there. Like whether it's what the hell's the guy's name? The linebacker out of
Oh yeah, Sonny. Sonny Styles out of Ohio State.
Sonny Styles out of Ohio. If he's there, maybe we take a linebacker. I mean, it's not the sexy pick. Maybe it is an edge rusher. Maybe it's the edge rusher that we're hearing. Mikael Folk or something like that out of UA, out of Auburn.
Keldrick Falk.
Or Keldrick Falk, yeah. Or maybe it's a wide receiver. Because look, I know it's not a crazy awesome place, and we've had a history statistically of taking bad players at the wide receiver position early. But this we need a wide receiver. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that's going to be the pick in round 1, but I think every single thing is on the table. Guard, maybe it's a guard. There's one out of Penn State that I'm fucking in love with, and I'm blanking on his name, so I'm just going to say the guard out of Penn State. But I think everything's on the table in round 1. Rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7 is where I think we can see some really fun stuff happen. Maybe some trade backs, get some extra picks. Selfishly, I was bummed when Weaver got the defensive coordinator instead of a head coaching job, because if he had the promotion from defensive coordinator on our end to a head coach, we would have gotten a couple round 3 draft picks.
Yeah.
So sucks for us because that would have been nice. But good points.
I do agree with you. It could be best player available. Why I keep leaning on edge rushers. I know that there's 3 edge rushers in the top 10 of a lot of people's big boards. So it's like, hey man, if one of those edge rushers happens to fall to 11, I'd be surprised if they're not taken. Right?
Would you be surprised if we traded back? I'm not saying we will, I'm not even saying I think we will, but would you be surprised if we did to maybe pick up a?
I don't know. Does Sully? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if Sully likes to trade during the draft. I don't remember Green Bay really making a lot of splash moves draft day.
Well, I mean, didn't they? Nope, that was the wrong. So I'm thinking of the wrong team. Never mind. I'm thinking of San Francisco.
I would be open to it if they think that the depth is solid enough. But we already have a lot of picks in the top 100. So
that's the most we've had in fucking 5 years.
I know we have a lot of holes, but I'd prefer to stay at 11 and take a guy who.
Me too.
who
Yeah.
can make an impact,
Mhm.
And if one of those top 3 defensive edge rushers falls, I mean, I am gonna absolutely lose my shit, dude. I'm gonna be so excited, especially if we take one of them,
Mhm.
because
Like,
we need a damn.
who do you really like? Do you have a guy that you're like, bro?
I don't. I have position. Edge to me is the position.
Yeah.
Like, we have Chop. That's it. Like
Oh,
Jalen,
but
we
what about
traded
the
away.
cornerback? What about the cornerback position? We have no one.
Yeah, but you need pass rush. You build from the
Oh, I
inside
know.
out. We've heard these
No, no,
guys
of
say it
course,
over
of
and
course, of
over
course.
again. Yeah, like I know we have nobody at corner, but I think that's where you use your 3rd-round picks.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
if the 3 edge rushers are gone, I do think we are in a prime position to take the top corner off the board, right?
Mhm.
If all 3 of these guys are gone, and then we're on the board, and it's like, okay, let me look at Kipe's top 100 here, whatever, and Jermod McCoy is there,
Yeah,
right? Or Mansour Delaney out of LSU, right? Whoever you have top at cornerback room, if the edge rushers are gone, and you're like, shit, we can get the top corner off the board. Remember when the Eagles did that with Cooper DeJean, and everybody was like,
bro.
I mean, that was way later in the first round.
It's
That was
so
like
good.
pick
Yeah.
30. But like a corner can be impactful. I agree with you on
Mhm.
that point. Like, yes, they can be impactful. But everything I've heard from these guys, like they're looking to build inside out, and we have no pass rushers. And if I don't think we have the money to go out and sign pass rushers, at least not like starters, I think they will be looking in the first round at either an offensive tackle or an edge rusher.
Yeah, agreed.
Like that's just where my mind keeps going, just
So what are
giving
your
everything they've said.
so I'm looking at my top I was pulling up my top 150 that I'm currently working through.
Hmm.
The top 4 edges I have on my list are Ruben Bain Jr., ranked number 2,
Hmm.
Keldrick Falk, ranked number 13 overall.
Yep.
David Bailey out of Texas Tech, ranked
Yep.
16. You could probably swap Falk and Bailey if you wanted to, and TJ Parker out of Clemson. Those are my top 4. So I don't know if you agree, but if one of those 4 falls, that's who you're taking.
I do not have my own big board, and nor will I ever. I'm just looking at
Gotcha.
other people's. So I see Arvell Reese is high on a lot of people's boards.
Mhm.
Did you say his name? I
Arvell
don't think I
Reese?
heard.
No,
Yeah, no.
no.
Ruben Bain is here, of course. So the 3 I was looking at was Arvell Reese, Ruben Bain, and David Bailey. Yeah, Sonny Styles too, though. Yeah, now you got me thinking, because Sonny
Yeah,
Styles would be a
dude.
hell of a pick too.
Hell of a
Jeez.
pick, dude. Sonny Styles is a fucking maniac. Yeah,
It's kind of nice to be picking at 11. There's a lot of good picks up here.
they
All right,
really
let's
are.
get back to the
Yeah.
show. We're sitting here just
Sorry.
waxing poetic
Sorry.
on guys. We're not even at the draft shows yet. We have so many
No.
of them coming up.
This is what happens. I'm a draft guy. You can't get me started, man.
Let's talk about guys with mixed or disappointing moments, and it was all quarterback. Spoiler alert. Diego Pavia, the quarterback out of Vanderbilt, who is
Yeah.
not a quarterback in the NFL level, and Luke Altmaier, the QB out of Illinois. Again, probably not a quarterback at the NFL level.
Maybe a practice squad. Maybe practice squad guys. Diego Pavia has some buzz around him. Why I have no idea.
It's always the Shane Falco types that get the buzz, man.
Yeah, that's
It
perfect.
really is.
That's perfect. I love that. Yep.
All right, let's look at there's a couple names on here we haven't talked about yet, and then we can wrap this bad boy
Sure.
up. So we talked about a lot of people. We didn't talk about your edge rushers, Joe. And on here, TJ Parker had a big day. Zion Young, the edge out of Mizzou, also had a big day. Tell me what you like about these two. Zion's massive, by the way.
Yeah, Zion's massive. TJ Parker is one of my favorite edges in the class. I think I have him ranked in the edge room on my top 153rd or 4th. I can't remember. I thought he had based on everything I've read, obviously I can't watch practices, but he dominated in practice. He dominated in the game. His speed to power transition is one of the best in the draft, in my opinion, at least, which is something that's very important for an edge player, especially one that plays closer to the line of scrimmage or on the line of scrimmage for that matter. Something that's completely, rather, something that I'm hoping we do is we draft someone that is completely different than what we have in Chop Robinson, which is what I presume we are going to do. Chop Robinson is that quick twitch sprinter that has crazy bend, that wins on the first step, bends around the tackle, and gets his arms around the quarterback and lets the quarterback slip off for a 10-yard run. The other edge that we draft, whether it's in round 1, maybe, or in the later rounds, I hope we get somebody that is of the I'm going to put my helmet in between your chest pads, and I'm going to bull rush you back into the quarterback, but that can then disengage and go power to speed or speed to power. And that's what TJ Parker can do. Should be I mean, I would think either probably a later round, first round draft guy, maybe, in the 20 range. I would see Zion Young is out of Missouri, is like built in a lab. I mean, like Ivan Drago type human. He's 6'6", 262. So he's slender for a 6'6" guy. I mean, 262 for 6'6" is lithe, if you will.
That's
and
putting it
something
nicely.
Yeah, something that I read, I didn't see it, but that apparently he has a really cool rush stance. I need to go find it, but I put it on here because it was kind of the
I
talk.
did see that. I want to see it now, though.
Yeah, it was kind of like the talk of the edge room, if you will. He has spectacular bend, and I say that with an asterisk, given his size. He is 6'6". 6'6" people are not supposed to bend. This guy actually has a surprisingly good bend around the edge.
Supposed to bend.
They're not. I mean, they're Gumbies, right? And he flashed in the game that and in the clips that I've seen, and the people that I've talked to, and the reports that I've read, and the things I've heard on podcasts. He flashed very dominant hands, which is something that's really cool. And he played really low in his pad level, which I think is great. I have him kind of a possible early to mid round 2 kind of range for Zion Young.
Sweet deal.
Lots of D tackles, by the way. I know we kind of D tackles, the Lee Hunter and Caleb Banks. Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech and Caleb Banks out of University of Florida both had tremendous days and tremendous weeks. These guys shot up the board. I mean, I think Lee Hunter's probably in late round 1. Caleb Banks is massive at 6'6" for a D tackle. I think he worked his way up from round 3 to late round 1, early round 2, in my opinion.
Now, I want to talk about a guy who I don't know if he was set to be drafted before this game. After this game, I think he will be. And I think there's multiple reasons. One, he's 25 years old already. That's always
I know what you're talking about. Yep,
a notch. That's always a notch, right? 2, he plays in Western Michigan. Again,
so good. Yeah.
Who the hell's drafting a guy to Western Michigan? But if you look at the game, 5 tackles, 4 solo, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble. Edge rusher Nadame Tucker had himself a week, had himself a game, and made himself some money. I don't know what you know about him. All I know about him is that he was popping off the screen during the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I don't have much on him right now. Again, I'm still working through my draft board, but yeah, he was all over the place and constantly flashing on the screen when I was paying attention.
And that's what this game and the combine largely are for. It's for the small school guys that don't get the recognition throughout the year, right? Also to test the small school guys who were dominant in small schools against top level talent. And I think this guy really knocked it out of the park. He was one of the talks of the Todd McShay show, which you know I'm an avid listener to.
Yeah.
And I love those stories. My favorite part of the NFL is stories, which is why when we come on here, we make such a great duo, because you like to dive into film, you like to do the stats, you like to do all that. I love fucking stories, dude. I am here for the stories. So and that's probably why I relate with McShay so much, because he's such a storyteller.
Yeah.
I'm here for the stories, and when I hear the story being talked about on the McShay show and other shows afterwards, start picking it up, and then I see him dominate in the game, I can't help think to myself, that's the type of project you take in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, Greer, not the oft-injured guy who hasn't played in 3 years, right? This guy here, 25 years old. Yes, he's about 2 or 3 years older than you want him to be. Western Michigan, sure, not a power school at all. But he came in, he played against top-tier talent that he hasn't faced before, and he dominated. And I think that is a hell of a story. And that's going to shoot him up draft boards. I mean, we've seen, remember when Vernon Golson shot up the draft board? And that was just because he had a great workout.
Yeah, there's another guy that I'm surprised, given your love of stories.
Love stories.
Ty Montgomery from
Oh,
John Carroll,
yes, I
a wide
forgot about
receiver.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he 6'1", buck 90, buck 85, something in that range. I don't have a write up on him yet, but I'm only calling him out because in our group chat, Taylor, brought him up, and I've heard his name, it kind of flashed. But John Carroll University, not a big school.
No, but
And
he was talked about in the McShay show too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
truly showed out. And
Yep.
I think this guy's probably, because of where he went to school, I think this is probably a 4, 5, 6 rounder kind of guy,
Yeah.
but a guy that I could see like making a 53.
Yeah. I mean, if it's even drafted, right? But
True,
to your
true.
point, like he's
I mean,
obviously worked his ass off to get to this point. And if he doesn't get drafted, he'll be an immediate post-draft signing.
yeah.
And I could definitely see him making a roster. I don't know. Like I imagine it's easy to get discouraged at that point when you don't get drafted. And some like that's where you see the difference between guys who just melt away and decide this isn't for me, and guys who are like, nah, I'm going to use that as a chip,
Mhm.
right? Your
Yeah.
Arian Fosters of the world.
Yeah. I mean, look, 2025 season. Now it was, I just pulled it up while you were chatting. So Montgomery, sorry, out of John Carroll, Division III school. He played in 14 games last year, had 119 receptions, 1,528 yards, averaged 12.8 per catch, 15 receiving touchdowns. He receiving yards per game was around 110. I mean, like accolades, right? Set school records at John Carroll again. Context is key. It's D3, right? But set school records for receiving yards in single season receptions. Second all-time JCU receiving touchdowns, and third all-time in receptions and receiving. Earned All-American honors at the Division III level. At the Senior Bowl, he was all over the place. I do think that this guy will be drafted. Where? That's to be TBD.
How does it?
I mean, he could be like a Chris Johnson type guy, because remember, Chris Johnson came out of fucking, was it, where did he come? Where did Chris Johnson get drafted? ECU? Something like that?
There's something like that. I just don't. 119, 1,528 yards, and 15 touchdowns. I don't care what league you're in, dude. Those are dominant numbers.
Yeah, and
how many 100-yard games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700-yard games.
He averaged 110 yards a game. So I mean,
insane,
right? And
against DePaul,
and it's not like he's a 5'9", really fast shit guy. He's 6'1".
And he's done it both ways. Like against DePaul, 12 for 109 and 3 touchdowns, right? And then he's got his other one where it's like 9 for 126, 9 for 160. Like, and thank you for bringing him up. I completely forgot about him. I did want to bring him up, but I was listening to it in the car during that segment, so I didn't get a chance to write it down.
Yeah.
But absolutely, Tyron Montgomery. Don't type in Ty because you'll get the Ty Montgomery who was in the NFL.
Yeah.
Type in Tyron, Tyren Montgomery out of John Carroll University. Look up his story. Absolutely fantastic. Great call out by you, Josh. That's why I keep you around, bud.
Hey, thanks, man. And while we're calling them out, just a couple other names, or maybe are you going to get to some kind of shout outs?
I was about to wrap up, so I will give you the floor. Last minute guys you want to call out.
I'm going to just run through a list. I'm not going to talk about them, but just if you're watching the show, write them down, pause, go look them up, because these guys will make an impact in the NFL in some way, shape, or form. Jennings Dunker, the guard out of Iowa. Ted Hurst, the wide receiver out of Georgia State, I'm a big fan of. Kyle Lewis, linebacker / safety out of Pitt. Derek Moore, who's an edge, are just a few of those names of players to kind of just go do some research on. Go watch, not you, but I mean, if you want to. But those of you that are listening, go do a little bit of research on them. Go watch some film, and you'll see some lesser known names of players that can really hopefully make some kind of impact at the NFL.
Yeah. And Kyle Lewis, we obviously talked about already, because imagine him alongside Brooks. And Kyle can cover, and Brooks can stay and do his
Love
thing.
it. Love it. I think I had them. I had him there twice. So sorry for regurgitating another name.
No, it's fine. Listen, As we wrap up this episode, we'd like to thank all of you who have already subscribed to the show. We have a goal of 150 subscribers by February 11th. As it stands, this show is expected to come out on the 5th of February, so we're just a few days away. While we're recording, we're at 144 subscribers. That means we're just 6 away from our goal. And during this goal, we are actually doing a giveaway. We don't do a giveaway for every goal, and trust me, we have a lot of goals. But this one, we actually are. So we're going to give away some Dolphin swag, some 305 Gridiron swag. As an appreciation to you for getting us to 150 subscribers before we hit the 1 year mark. In fact, this is actually the 6-month mark, I think, now that I'm talking about it. So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet and you'd like to subscribe now, we would really appreciate it. And stick around because we will be here all off season. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, just a point of clarification. We're not giving swag to everyone.
No, just one winner.
We're going to do a drawing. It's the way you worded it. We're like, everyone gets swag. It's like
everybody. We're going to be the.
I'm not a billionaire. We've established this.
But all 150 of you will be entered into the drawing to potentially, or if there's more than 150, even better, to potentially win the prize.
Swag. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for sticking with us this offseason. If you are an offseason person like we are, then stick around. We will be here all year. We have a Notion database filled with shows planned from now until September. We won't be live again until the draft, but join us on draft. If you love the draft, we will be live on the Monday before the draft and the first round of the draft. So 2 live shows in a week. Don't thank us. We love you too. So feel free to stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell if you want to be notified when our episodes go live, because then you will get an email and a notice on your phone and a text message if you have that. It's very annoying, but it is helpful to know when the episodes go live.
And we appreciate it because we read your comments, we pop them up live, we go back and forth with you guys. We do this for you guys. I mean, not to sound cheesy, but we do. We love each and every one of you guys and gals and appreciate you guys listening to us ramble on about our beloved Dolphins.
I am the one reading all of your comments, so please be nice. You know, some of
or
you are
don't.
not so
I don't
nice.
care as long as you're here.
Some of you are not so nice. So then when you're not nice, I just pop your response into ChatGPT and I'm like, respond to this for me. Easy way to deal with the trolls.
Love it.
I'm just kidding. Of course, I love everybody. Mostly. All right, that'll do it for the 305 Gridiron. Before we talk any more about nonsense, let's get the hell out of here. This has been the 305 Gridiron for Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, over here to my left. I'm Anthony Pinzone. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, fins up, everybody.